Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with the second part on the review of the Necrons Codex, and this time I think I will finish with the review of all the units, and maybe I will make a fast review on the different formations that there are at the end of the book, and we are going to finalize the review in two parts. So if we go back, just to summarize, in my previous video I talk about the general rules, how it's working now, the rule that is called reanimation protocols, also the living armor and the living metal. So I talk a little bit about these rules, and I talk about a little bit about I talk about the HQs and all the different options we have on HQ. And now I want to talk about the other units in the book, and let's see if we have time also to talk about the formations. So if we continue with the review, now it's time to talk about the troops. And in troops we have two entries, are the warriors and the immortals. The warriors have not changed versus before, and the Gauss weapons of the warriors didn't change neither. So they are exactly the same. They're costing 13 points. I don't know by heart if it's the same cost or not than before, but with the new reanimation protocols they can be quite tough. And combined, you will see later on that combined with the Ghost Arc, they can be very resilient. So it's a very strong. It can be a very strong unit for troops. So the basic unit is 130 points, 10 Necrons, and you can include 10 additional by 13 points each Necron. Sorry if I look here because I have my books and my notes here just to be able to read at the same time I'm talking. And they can take as a transport the Ghost Arc and the nice side. Then the next unit we have are the Immortals. The Immortals are costing, you pay 55 points for 5, and they cost 17 points. There are no characters in any of these two units. So this, if we talk about the HQ that can exchange himself, or when he's dying can replace a character, I don't think this character have a very nice ability, because at the end you don't have characters in the units, you only have the characters of the HQs, so I don't see a lot of the benefit of this HQ. So going back to the troops, so the Immortals are equipped with the same. They have the stronger Gauss, still the same strength 5, AP 4, and then you can have Tesla. And Tesla, as you will listen, Tesla are not working the same, so it's only creating additional shots on 6s if it's not snap shooting. So you cannot create additional shots in Overwatch or when you shoot snap shooting for any other reason. Normally, for infantry, the main impact is when you're receiving a charge. So 6s will not generate extra hits with the Tesla. But anyway, I think it's still a strong one. I don't think there is also the Tesla also lost the rebone, so no, it's only doing additional hits on 6 and cannot hit units that are next to the unit that receiving the shot. Then we go to, these are the two troops, warriors and immortals, and we go to the elite. And the first elite we find is the Lich Guard. 5 guys are costing 125 points, so we pay 25 points per guy. All of them have the War Seed. So with 3+ armor and the reanimation protocols, they can be quite strong. And then they have a weapon AP2. So they are much better, for example, if you compare, than the Incubi. The only point is that they are slow. So I see them combined in two ways. Or you use the Lord with the ability that you can teleport once a turn a unit with the Lord from one point to another in the battlefield, and then I will take also, or you can use the Cryptek. The Cryptek is not going to be good in close combat, but can give them 4+ in the reanimation protocol, making them quite strong. If you don't want to invest in the Cryptek, you invest in a Lord, very basic, with the teleportation, and then you can exchange the entire unit can exchange their sides for hyperphase, source and dispersion shields, giving them 3+ invulnerable save, plus the reanimation protocols. So this is a choice. You can, then it's costing 5 points additional, will cost 25 points more, 150 points. I think that for me the best option is the war seat with a weapon IP2. You are very slow, you are going to hit the last anyway, and then you have the reanimation protocols that can do the role of the invulnerable save that have, for example, the Terminators. They're quite strong. If you add, how it's called this, the equip tech, given the 4+, they can be quite a difficult unit to kill. Remember that you can start spamming equip techs depending on the formation that you get. So I think we will use more and more, we will see more and more the use of the formation of the Necrons to be able to spam equip techs and lords, because they are the ones that can boost the units in your army. So it's the other thing I was thinking is, if I can also see that you're taking the Ghost Arc as a fast attack choice, and then you embark these guys in the Ghost Arc. So now you have a vehicle that is open top. They have the ability to move and assault from the vehicle, so you can protect them from the shooting, being inside of a vehicle that have armor 13, and then go moving close to the enemy to be able to disembark. And the Ghost Arc is cheaper than, for example, a Land Rider from the Space Marines. So this is another option, take a Ghost Arc from the fast attack. So I think there are options to move these guys fast and be able to assault second turn. If you teleport them, and with the rules with the special or the gear, so the war gear then they can really be close to the enemy in the second turn. So death marks. Let's go to the death marks. They have the special rule have changed now. So the death marks have AP2. Is wounding on 2+ when they come from deep strike. You can do deep strike. You can leave them in reserve as deep strikes, and they have 2 rules. One is when they arrive from deep strike, they will wound on 2+ regardless of the toughness. So very strong if you want to shoot down a monstrous creature or things with high resistance on low armor, like demons or even some of the tyrannies. They also have what is called the threat interception. If an enemy unit is coming in deep strike and you leave these guys in reserve, they can come together with this unit that is coming from this strike, and then they can do an intercepting shooting in the turn of your enemy. Of course, then they will not shoot in your turn, but it's a way to intercept a unit that is coming in deep strike. So this can be quite powerful depending on the enemy you are fighting with. So all this, for example, if you want to protect yourself from Dark Elder coming with the web portal, then you can use the unit of death marks. They come at the same time that this unit is arriving from this strike, and then you shoot them down. And if you shoot the Elder, having 2+ to wound them, you know what is going to happen. They're going to die. And because they come from this strike, you can place them in a way that, for example, if the Dark Elder is using the Lord or what's called the Archon to protect, you can put at the backward to be able to shoot the unit before shooting the Archon. So quite a strong unit, can be very dangerous, and is giving a nice rule. I think there is a strong one and can be used. Then we have the Flake Ones. I think the Flake Ones is the one unit that have been boost. You pay 65 points for 5, so you are paying at the end 13 points per miniature, and you can add to 15 additional, so you can make units of 20. They have Deep Strike, they have Fear, Infiltrate, and Reanimation protocols. I like more Infiltrate than the Deep Strike. Having Reanimation protocols, I think before they didn't have, so I'm making them quite good. They are quite resilient. And then if we look at the weapon they have 2 Flake Claws, meaning they have an additional attack. So they have 3 attacks base, plus 1 4 attacks, plus 1 nominate, so they will have 5 attacks assaulting. So it's quite a strong unit, and they have rending. So 4 attacks base with rending, it's quite scary, even for miniatures with heavy armor or higher toughness. So I think it's a very interesting unit, and it's can become one of the close combat solutions now for the Necrons. So they are going to be more scary than before. I think I was listening in the first rumors that Necrons are not good in close combat. Well, they are slow because they have initiative 2, but they are very resilient with armor 4 plus or 3 plus depending on the unit, plus their animation protocols. They can resist quite well, and now their animation protocols are like feel no pain, so you don't lose the units in combat. If they pass their animation protocols, then they will be able to hit. So, and then you have this one, the flayed ones are very strong in close combat. The Lich Guard are also very strong in close combat with the weapons AP2. And later on you will see that there are other options as well. Then we have the Triarch Praetorians. This is jump infantry, and they have the how it's called, the jump infantry. They have the Rod of Covenant. The Rod of Covenant, if I'm looking correctly here, I don't want to say wrong things. Give me a minute. We'll check here the rod. Here it is. The Rod of Covenant is a weapon that is 12 inches, strength 5, AP2, and in close combat is AP2 as well, 200. So it's a very dangerous unit as well in close combat and in short range shooting. Remember, these guys always have their animation protocols, so although you see the armor save is 3 plus, you will always have to think in mind that at minimum they will have the 5 plus. You can include up to 5 more. They costing 140 points for 5, and each one is costing 28 points. I think and they can change the unit can change the Covenant, the Rod of Covenant for Void Blades and Particle Casters. So if they take Void Blades, they will have like power weapons. It's 83. If I'm not wrong, the strength of the user. Void Blade, yeah, it's AP4, sorry. The strength of the user, I have the entropic strike and rending. So if you throw a 6 when trying to wound, you have AP2 then. I think you're losing a lot of punch in close combat, and then the weapon they give for shooting is the Particle Casters. That is also a strength 6, 5 pistol. So you win attacks in close combat, but I think you're losing punch. From my point of view, yeah, you have 2 units in the elites that have AP2, potential for AP2, and you have they have AP4 and with rending, or you have a unit that are the flayed ones that have rending and 5 attacks at the assault, 4 attacks base. So it's quite crazy. They also have 2 attacks, the Triarch Praetorians. So I think there's quite strong solutions for close combat. The next one is the Triarch Stalker. Now the rule of the Triarch Stalker have changed completely. It's encouraging you to do the phalanx type of formation where you have all your army together. What it's doing is any unit at 6 inches, at least, all friendly non-vehicle units with the Necron faction within 6 inches of at least 1 Triarch Stalker are +1 to the ballistic skill, unless they're firing snapshots. So it means that most of your units will shoot at ballistic skill 5. So it's quite good. They have living metals, and they have the hit rate, the quantum shield, living metal, and move through cover. And now the shooting have changed a little bit. No, the shooting is thing for this one is the same, sorry, but sometimes I'm mistaken. The shooting, the hit rate is still the same. You have the Despair, that is the heavy flammer, or you have the focus set that is like two multi-melta hits. It's a multi-melta heavy 2. You can, the thing is now you can make a unit of 3 if you want, so you can include up to 2 additional one for 125 points, and anyone can exchange the hit ray by a particle shredder. The particle shredder is, I don't think I will do this change. If I can find the particle shredder. Here it is. The particle shredder is strength 7, AP 4, heavy 1, large blast. To be fair, I think to kill infantry you have a lot of things. I will keep the anti-vehicle shooting. Or they can have twin link heavy Gauss cannon. Now the heavy Gauss cannon is strength 5, AP 3, heavy 2 Gauss. So it's an anti-marine shooting. So it's up to you. In that case it's going to be twin link, so you will repeat to hit. I think I will keep the basic weapon. I will not pay 10 additional points for that. I don't see it makes sense. I think this you take this stalker as it is, and then you put another or a couple of units next to him to benefit from the +1 to hit. Let's go to the next one. Then in elite we also have the Citan shard, and then we have 2 Citan shards. We have the Ninebringer. Well, the Z-Tank have a monstrous creature that have a strength and toughness 7, so are quite strong. They have 4+ invulnerable save. They are Eternal Warrior. They are fearless, of course. They have Fleshbane. This one has Fleshbane, so yeah, Fleshbane is not adding a lot unless you're fighting other monstrous creatures, because you most of the time will hit it on 2+ anyway. Then they are immune to the natural laws, so they're moving, ignoring any type of terrain, unit, anything. And they have, all the Z-Tanks have what is called the Necrodermis, so it's giving the 4+ invulnerable save, and when they suffer the last wound, they explode, making a strength 4 AP1 hits 2d6 inches, so they're exploding. And then this one, the Ninebringer, have the Gaze of Death. The Gaze of Death is a shooting, is using the shooting phase to using the power of the Z-Tank. A model can, in addition of using the power of the Z-Tank, this model can target a non-vehicle enemy within 12 inches. So the unit suffers a wound, so it's you roll 3d6, it's like the Secret Shrek. You roll 3d6 and you take out the leadership, the defense is the wounds at AP2 without cover save allowed. The other thing that have changed is now the Z-Tanks have their own powers. If I can find here it is. They have the power of the Z-Tank, and the power of the Z-Tank now, when you are going to use it, you cannot use it them in Overwatch. You use them at the shooting phase, and you throw a dice and you select randomly from 1 to 6. Here the pain is that you have to choose what you're going to shoot before selecting the power. So this randomness here, it's quite, I would say quite stupid, because why does the tank will know what is going to shoot before shooting, depending on the target. So you have from, and then in the case of a normal Z-Tank they will use the Transcendent shooting. The range is 24 inches for all of them. Then you have a strength 8 AP3, then you have a strength 9 AP1 Tesla, or a strength 6 AP4 Assault 1 which rides in North cover, or a strength 6 AP4 Assault Strike Down. So you have different shootings, all goes from 6 to strength D with precision shots. So yeah, you can gambit and shoot to a vehicle. Then if you have the one of the strength 6, it's useless. or you can shoot 2 units, and then if you have 1 shot of strength today, okay, you're going to volatilize a guy from the unit, and that's all. Sorry. So I think this randomness in the Satan is taking out. It's making him too random for the cost he's using. So you will go to close combat and do the shooting to see if something happens. But most of the times, the shooting is going to be useless because or you have chosen the wrong target and you don't have the right shooting, or the other way around. So then we have the Deceiver, this is another, and the main difference is that instead of having the power that is against the leadership, these have Dread. So models in enemy units that are within 12 inches of the model subtract 2 to the leadership. So okay, if you are fearless or you are I shall know no fear, I think the leadership, attacking the leadership in 40k is quite weak today. And then they have the Gvan illusion immediately after forces have deployed and all scouts redeployments have been made. You may remove this model and or a D3 failing unit within 12 inches of it. Each unit that is removed in this manner can either be immediately deployed using normal deployment rules or placed in reserve. So this is very interesting. I think this is very interesting because it's adding you a lot of game, especially if you want to go first. You choose to go first, then after deploying everything you choose 3 of your units, 1d3 of your units, and you redeploy. I think this is quite strong one. I always believe deployment is very important. Be able to manipulate deployment normally is driving quite good things. And we go to the fast attack. Fast attack we start as usual in other codex. We find the transports. One is the night sight. The night sight is it's the same as before. The only difference is because Tesla is working, it's not doing extra shots with 6s. If you're doing a snapshot, okay, if you are start now to how it's called this, I forgot now the rule, to if you start using the to jink, if you start jinking, then you will not have you will do snapshots and you completely lose your shooting. So I think flyers have been nerfed in general, so nice hits is suffering from the same. Have the same rules for transporting and it's doing the same. Then we have the Ghost Arc also as in the fast attack. I don't know if it was in the previous codex, but no, they have what is called 2 Gauss flyer arrays. They can shoot to different targets. They are not obliged to shoot to the same target than other vehicles, than other weapons of the vehicle shoot. So that means that the Ghost Arc now can choose 2 targets on the battlefield, plus the unit inside of the Ghost Arc can shoot at different targets. So imagine a Ghost Arc with 10 warriors inside can shoot to 3 different targets per turn. It's quite strong. And then they have Repair Bash, and this is what is doing the Ghost Arc is, I think is at the start of each friendly movement phase, you will recuperate 1d3 Necrons warrior from a unit. So if you have a unit next to the Ghost Arc that have taken casualties, you throw a d3 and you will recuperate d3 warriors. I think it's quite powerful. It's a way to keep small units alive. So I like, and I think it's open and it's keeping the open top. Yeah, it's open top, so you can assault from this vehicle. So what I was saying at the beginning, the Lich Guard can go in a Ghost Arc and assault the same turn that they disembark. In the fast attack we also have the Canopted Wraiths. Now they have toughness 5, so are making them much stronger. Very difficult now to have a weapon that can have instant kill to them. They have 3+ invulnerable save as before. They have 3 attacks base and strength 6. They have fearless branding and are very bulky. They have the Wraith form, so they see the 3+ invulnerable save. They have the Wraith flight, and they are beast. So they move 12. They have fleet because they are beast, and they ignore all terrain. So they can ignore the terrain by 2 reasons, because they have the Wraith flight, and then they are beast. You pay 120 euros for 3, and you can add up to 3 additional more for 40 euros. So 240 for a unit of 6 that can eat almost everything. Very strong in close combat with 4 rending attacks. They can be quite dangerous for an assault. So they can take then. Any model can take whip coils, particle caster, or transdimensional beamer. Okay, so you have the whip coils now is adding +3 to the initiative. So when they will have initiative 5 with the whip coils, this is a little bit nerfed. Before it used to be much stronger, but I think it's more according to how we see the tendency in the rules. Then the particle caster is one of the ones that the particle caster is a pistol that is strength 6 AP5 in case you want to have this, and the transdimensional beamer is 12 inches strength 4 AP2, but they cost 10 points. To be fair, I think I will keep easy with them, maybe put the weak coils and go to close combat. They are there to go into close combat and absorb a lot of the shooting. They don't have reanimation protocols that they used to happen, but you will see that there is a formation that if you attack a spider, they can have reanimation protocols. Then we have the canopied scarps. The canopied scarps, now the entropic strike is completely different. It's like a Gauss weapon. With a 6 you wound, or you create a glancing hit if you are not doing penetrating hit. They have a strength 3 and toughness 3, so it's a swarm. It's a beast. Sorry, they are beast, so they can move 12 and they ignore terrain. And they cost 60 points for 3, and you can include up to additional 6, so you can go to units of 9 by 20 points for each one. And the ability is like the Gauss. So on 6s you wound, you automatically wound, and you automatically do a glancing if you don't do penetrating hit. Then the next in the fast attack are the Tomb Blades. These are the jet bikes from the Necrons. They cost 54 points for 3. I think they are quite cheap for a jet bike that have the reanimation protocol, so 4+ save plus the reanimation protocol. It's difficult that they will have a character in, because you want them for mobility, so most likely they will go without any other support. They will be alone, so you have to take this into consideration. But I think they can survive quite well with save 4 and the reanimation protocol. They come with twin link blast Gauss blaster. So Gauss blaster is strength 5 AP4 twin link, so it's not a bad shooting. You can substitute the Gauss blaster for twin link Tesla carabines. The Tesla or you can substitute by the particle beamer. The particle beamer is a strength 6 AP5 heavy 1 blast. So you choose 2 shots, or you shoot the Tesla. So weapons of a strength 6 or 5 that can have multiple shots or have blast. Any model can take shield banges. So the shield, sorry, the shield bench, sorry, for 2 points. The shield bench, I have it here, I know it. The shield veins are giving them 3 plus armor save. I think for 2 points makes sense to upgrade them. 60 points for 3, 120 for 6 bikes with 3 plus save. They are jet bikes and they have the reanimation protocols. It's not bad. And any model can take one of the following, or the Shadow Loom or the Nebuloscope. The Nebuloscope, if a model equipped with the Nebuloscope, all its ranged weapons have the Ignore Cover special rule. Quite powerful if you combine with some of the weapons that are strength 5, especially against Dark Eldar, all these units that depend a lot on the cover save. Even to destroy light vehicles that have armor 10, or you can take the back with all this mobility, you can go to the back of the vehicles. So if you are shooting skimmers, you can have this to ignore, to make them, so to have ignore cover rule. It's costing 2 points per model. Or you can take the Shadow Loom, and the Shadow Loom gives +1 cover save. So it's up to you what you want to do. I think with the reanimation protocols and all these things, I don't know. It depends to you. If you want to go, to safe or defensive or more offensive with the Dawnblades. I think they're adding a lot of mobility. They are units that are very mobile. The Scarps, the Dawnblades, the Canopted Wraith, they are very, very mobile. And you have a transport that is super mobile, that is the Night Sheet, if you want it. And then you have the rest of the army that is much slower. So I think you have good options in the codex to cover all the different needs on the battlefield. Then if we keep looking at the fast attacks, we have the destroyers. They cost 40 points and they go with the Gauss that have a strength 5 AP3 and it's heavy too. And so the destroyers are jetpack infantry, so they are not slow neither, because you can move in the soul phase like they do with the Crisis or the Riptide. So it's not fast, but it's not slow, and they have some mobility. Of course they have flare and less because they are jetpack infantry. So they come with the Gauss cannon, and then you can upgrade them by 10 points. So you may upgrade one of the destroyers, you can upgrade one of them to heavy destroyer by 10 points. If you want to have the heavy destroyer and have the heavy Gauss cannon, that is a strength 9 MP2. In case you want. I will not do that, most likely. Or I focus, unless I only take one destroyer and I upgrade this destroyer. Because you can take a unit of 1 for 40 points. And the maximum you can take is 6. So you can take up to 5 additional, so you can go to up to 6. So if you take only one, you can use this as a heavy destroyer from the fast attack and you don't use any of the heavy supports. But being that they are, or you can I don't think I will mix the weapons, because the strength 5 AP3 is clearly anti-heavy infantry, the strength 9 AP2 is clearly anti-vehicle. So I'm not sure they will mix the shooting. Then we go to the heavy support and we have the heavy destroyers. They cost 50 points, so the same that the destroyers with like the heavy destroyers, the fast attack, so it's costing the same. They go with the heavy Gauss cannon, that is the strength 9 AP2 Gauss one shot. They have preferred enemy that I forgot to mention before, reanimation protocols, and they are very bulky. And you can add to 2 additional heavy destroyers, so you can do 2 units of 3 in that case. Then we go to the Canoptech Spiders. These ones still have the rule to create scarps, but now they only can create a unit of a new scarps at 6 inches from the spider. so the range is limited to the 6 inches around the spider to create the scar. And have toughness and strength 6. I don't think, no, does not have reanimation protocol. No, and then have different options. So can include, well, you first of all you can make a unit of 3 of them. Any model might take a fabricator clover. The fabricator clover is initiated in phase instead of fighting a weapon, so they do the same role as a tech marine. You go next to a vehicle and you repair the vehicle in 4+. Or a model may take the gloom prism, and the gloom prism is also, so you can add a shooting weapon there. No, sorry, that's not the shooting, but the gloom prism. A model equipped with a gloom prism, and all friendly units within 12 inches have the adamantium. You can give the adamantium will. I don't think I will never use the gloom prism if I'm using Necrons. So I will use them as it is, just to boost the scraps. We have the Doom Seed. No, the Doom Seed, the Death Ray have, I think is the one, Doom Seed is the, have changed completely. It's completely nerfed. I don't think that I'm looking from the other side. I'm not very scared of the new shooting from the Doom Seed. The weapon is called Death Ray, and now it's strength. Is still strength 10, AP 1, heavy 1, blast lance. Okay, if you shoot a vehicle, you can kill some units, but it's not as precise as it used to be that you can hit 2 vehicles. Now it's very difficult that they will hit 2 vehicles. They have to be very close to each other. Also have the Twin Link, Tesla Destructor, have Living Metal and Supersonic. But again, this is going to be the pain for all the players. You have a blast weapon. If I'm fighting against them, I will shoot just to force him to jink. When he's jinking, I most likely will need to get out of the battlefield to be able to return in the next turn and shoot again. And this is one of the big problems we will find with the flyers. You will always need to gambit if you jink or not. If you don't jink with armor 11, if you receive the hit, most likely you will have a penetrating hit and will receive some additional damage. So it's a gambit. What you want to do? You want to jink or not, depending on the weapon that you've been shot. We have the monolith then. The monolith have, as before, it's costing 200 points, have armor 14 all around. Now the rules of the monoliths have changed a little bit. The Eternity Gate have changed. It's not absorbing anymore enemy units. You cannot use to shoot. You can only use it to teleport your own units. This is big. Is being the big change. And now let me find. Here it is. So at the start of each friendly turn, you might choose one friendly unit with the Necrons, the consistent array of models with either the infantry or jammy infantry unit type that are in reserve, ongoing reserve, or is on the table and not locked in combat. If the chosen unit is in reserve or ongoing reserve, it automatically arrives this turn, so that is required, and it's placed as if it were disembarking from the monolith portal at the start of the movement. If the chosen unit currently on the battlefield, it is first removed from the table and then is placed as described above. So it's a good way to reposition your army. I think yeah, they give some strategic things. The point is then once the monolith is on the battlefield, it's quite a slow one. It has living metal, so he can recuperate cool points on 6s. So it's not a bad thing to take into account. Then we have the Annihilation Barrage. I think the Annihilation Barrage is still quite strong with armor 13. You will need you need to make, not with the skimmers, you need to make use of the cover. You cannot trust on the Jink anymore, because then you start shooting. And with the nerf that the Tesla have received, that now only replicate hits on 6s if they don't do snap shooting, you want to have this Annihilation Barrage behind some cover and use it from there. It's a skimmer open top, so it's the same as before, and same weapons is costing 120 points. Then we have the Doomsday Arc. The Doomsday Arc is the arc with the big cannon. So have two Gauss flare arrays, so they can shoot to 3 different targets, one with the quantum, one with the Doomsday cannon, and other targets with the Gauss flare arrays. So this is a good option. So it's anti-infantry and anti-vehicle at the same time. If you move, you can shoot the low power 24 inches, strength 7, AP3, heavy 1 blast. Or if you remain stationary, if you remain stationary, then you can shoot 72 inches, strength 10, AP1, large blast. So it's quite a scary one. So I think they will attract a lot of fire from the enemy, but the shooting is very powerful. It's costing 170 points with armor 13. If you put him behind some cover, most likely it's going to be in a good position. Problem is, most likely you will use very little the 2 Gauss flyer arrays, because you want to maximize the use of the Doomsday cannon. So you will not care if you cannot shoot the Gauss weapons. And then we go to the Lords of War. No, sorry, the last option in heavy support is the Transcendence tank. It's costing 250 points. Have the powers of the Setan as the previous one. Deep Strike, Eternal Warrior, Fearless as the previous one. Again, the immune to natural laws, the Necrodermis. And then have, how it's called, this Wreathing Warscape. All enemy units treat open ground within 6 inches as a difficult of the Sedan as a difficult terrain. So making all units difficult to charge him. The profile is a little bit stronger, have a strength 8. I don't know if it's changing too much. I have 5 wounds, I think the previous one, will check very fast, I think they have 4 wounds. Yes, yeah, they have an extra wound and have an extra point of strength. The armor save is the same, 4+. So I don't think makes sense to have this one. I prefer the other ones, but here you have the Transcendence tank. And then we go to the Lords of War. We have the Tesseract Bolt. The Tesseract Bolt is costing 55 points. Sorry, 550 points. Have 9 hull points and have armor 14 all around, and have 4 Tesla Spheres. The Tesla Spheres Tesla Sphere is strength 7, heavy 5. Okay, they can shoot to different targets because they are a lot of war. They have living metal, so he can recuperate lost hull points because they are super heavy. and have the bone of the coalescent. So when the trees are bold, use the power of the Setang, measure line of sign. So you can use the power of Setang and use resolve a ballistic skill 5 and use the other table that is better. So the weapon have more range. And then have the vengeance of the incanted. So when the treeside ball loses the last full point, it always suffers a titanic explosion. Okay. Sorry, this video is becoming very long. We have the obelisk. I think the obelisk is not bad. It's armor 14 all around, 6 hull points, 300 points, and have also 4 Tesla spheres. So in terms of shooting, it's like the Tesla bolt, but have not the Citan powers. I don't like a lot the previous one. I think it's better the obelisk. The obelisk can come upright or upside down. If it's coming upside down, have the 3+ invulnerable save, and you can choose to turn the obelisk at any movement phase, and then it's upright, and when the obelisk is upright, so when you deploy the obelisk, you can choose whether if it's powered up or powered down. If it's powered up, it follows the normal rules of the vehicle of its type. If it's powered down, it might move or shoot, but has 3+ invulnerable save. So it's up to you. With this strength, I think I will power it up directly to be able to shoot. If not, at the beginning you're going to be out of range, because I think the Tesla have 24 inches range as well. Have deep strike. I think this thing has to arrive deep strike, being in the middle of the enemy, shooting everything and doing the much carnage it can do. Have the living metal special rule. So remember, the living metal is a part of ignoring the shakes. You also can recuperate the hull point on 6+. And also the last one in Lord of War, we have the Immotech, the Stormlord of Fire. Is infantry, the character is unique. Have the Gauntlet of Fire and the Phase Shifters of have 2+ and 4+ invulnerable save. Have the hyperlogical strategies, so it's the Warlord trait. In case you put him as the Warlord. Have it somewhere here. Yeah, it's you add 1 or take, so you add or subtract 1 to the reserve rolls, and you can seize initiative. So it's interesting. I guess you want to add 1 when seize initiative. Is independent character, it will not die, reanimation protocols, and is the Lord of a Storm. Sorry. If you include Immotech as the Stormlord, the knife fighting special rule is always in effect during the first game turn. No die roll is necessary. In addition, once per game, at the start of any friendly shooting phase, roll a d6 for each enemy unit within 48 inches of Immotech. On 5+, the unit suffers d6 strength of AP4, so it's quite a strong one, especially depending on enemy. So if you are fighting Imperial Guard, or you are fighting things with low strength and low armor, this can be quite dangerous. And then have the Blown Swarm Nanoscarps. If your army includes Immotech, the Stormlord, friendly units of Flight 1s can reroll the Scatter Dice when arriving from Deep Strike. And then have the one artifact of the Aeons, that is the Staff of the Destroyer, that is strength 6, AP2, range 18, so assault 3. So it's good shooting, it's close combat. No, have not close combat weapons, so in close combat it's not that good. It's very resilient with armor 2+, 4+ invulnerable save, plus the reanimation protocols. It will not die, The only thing that doesn't have is Eternal Warrior. So that's what with toughness 5 you are quite also resistant. So this is all I want to review here. Then we have the formations. The formations I don't think I will cover in that one. There are formations with some fancy rules. I think there are some interesting formations and other ones that are harder to be seen. So, but there are formations depending on there are different formations. I will not go into that. I think I will finalize here the review of the Necrons. If you have any other question or you want to know any other additional thing, please let me know. I can do a short video to explain that things. I hope you have find this interesting to see how the Necron Codex is. Just to wrap up the Codex, I think it's quite a solid Codex, and looking this as an opponent normally of Necrons, I think it's going to be tough to deal with them. They're going to be very resilient, they still have good shooting, they can destroy vehicles, especially light vehicles, very fast, but they are also have good options against heavy vehicles, and they also have some units that can deal quite well the close combat. The watch out, I think, is going to be the points, how much points, because there are units that are pretty expensive. So I think the warriors are going to be needed, and the immortals to create some mass, and then to have some elite units to cover the currencies of what is what the warriors cannot do. But overall, I find it's a solid Codex. There are some nerfs that were expected, like the Tesla. I was expecting on this one. Also the mind sharp scarves. I think they were asking to be, because it was a nightmare for any game. So, but overall, I think it's quite a solid Codex. I am looking forward to fight them in future, to see them in action, and that's all. Please leave your comment below. What do you think? If you think I missed something or I did some mistake, don't hesitate in putting the comments below. I'm doing this after the first reading. I didn't play against them yet. These are my opinion based on my experience of playing against them, seeing them on the battlefield, and also my experience of a lot of years playing Warhammer 40k. So thanks a lot for watching this video. Please leave your comments below, like if you like it, subscribe if you're not subscribed. See you again later. Bye.